Hi students. Yesterday we took the form, meaning, and function. Our lesson was about comparing. Now we took 4 structures. 3 of them were comparing, which were the positive degree, the comparative degree, and also the superlative degree. And we used the comparative form, but not for comparing, but just to show one action is a result of the other. Okay, now we have the exercises in the book. I told you just to take a look at the examples that you have. We have the first example, which is on page number 64, to write sentences about the animals using comparative and superlative structures. They have lots of animals mentioned, and then they give you just examples to try to compare between them. So try to be as much as you can creative. Think about other sides. It doesn't have to be the typical comparing that we are used to. So let's start first of all with cheetah, tiger, and lion. Here, the first thing that comes in mind is the superlative degree. But actually here, I wrote the sentence, the tiger is as dangerous as the cheetah and the lion. So we have here the positive degree is used even if it is between 3. Then the second one, we have the camel, the donkey, the horse, and the elephant. So we have here the example. The elephant is the most enormous among the group mentioned. Here, just to note that you can use other kinds of adjectives. As we mentioned yesterday, try to think about more advanced adjectives that you can use. Then we have number 3, the ostrich and the eagle. And just to give you a second here, think about what can you compare between the ostrich, which is in a symbiotic team with the zebra, if you can remember in Unit 1. So what can you compare between the ostrich and also the eagle? Now, the eagle is known to be a dangerous kind of bird. Mainly, there's nothing between them in common except maybe that they are all from the bird type. Here we have the ostrich's sight isn't as good as the eagle. So my note for you here that you can compare. It doesn't have to be a direct comparing part. You can just think about something else between them. After that, we have the bear and the snake. Also, we have here as predators. Revise adjectives from before that you took. And we have here the snake is sneakier than the bear. Also think about other kinds of adjectives. So we have number 5, your own idea. The book gave you the freedom to choose whatever you want. You can think about other animals. You can use the examples that you have here. You can compare other kinds of comparisons. It doesn't have to be the same thing here. Okay, after that, we have here in B, in the same page, to imagine you are a contestant on a TV quiz show. Work with a partner and ask and answer the questions. So here, just to change the mood a little bit, just imagine that you are sitting in a contest and you are going to answer some questions. Here we're going to just take some examples of the questions which are actually mentioned in your book. So we have here, we're going to choose a number. Yes, so imagine that you are on the show, a contest. You are going to choose a number here. We have here, let's just, for example, choose the number 6. The question here is, actually it gave you the answer before. So we have here, it's no problem because we have the most important thing here is to concentrate on the questions. What is the question? What's the most populated city? So here, what is the adjective? The adjective is populated. And here, of course, they give you the information, which is Shanghai in China. Now, going back, you can see that we have number, let's choose this time number 8. Number 8. So what is the largest lake by size? Do you have any kind of information about what is the largest lake by size here? So the answer is going to be the Caspian Sea, between Asia and Europe. And we have here, of course, the how big is it? And also, just to remind you that to concentrate on the comparison part in the question. So we have here, what is the largest lake? Let's just go back and take another question. Let's say, for example, number 7. Why not? Number 7, yes. What's the largest desert? And as a general information form, we have here Sahara in North Africa. This is the largest desert. So these are just examples. You can go back to the book. You can see the questions and just focus on how the question is formed using the comparative form. Yes, moving on. We took this table yesterday, page number 65. We have here the table that has a lot of information about planets. And here we are going to compare between them. Actually, the book, they gave you a long exercises, which is just a choose exercise. But here, it may be long. You can see that the choices, they are very obvious. So we're going to pass by them very quickly. We have the first one. Some planets are much bigger and farther away from the sun than others. Jupiter is by far the. So let's do this together. We have, let's choose. Yes, we have here, Jupiter is by far the. This shows you that we have here, of course, a superlative form. And you are going to see, is it biggest or hottest? And Mercury is the smallest or the coldest. So just go back to the map and see what you have. We're going to say that we have here Jupiter is the biggest and Mercury is the smallest, depending on the map. After that, we have here Mars is closer or farther from the sea than the Earth. Our answer is going to be farther. Mercury is the closest or the farthest planet to the sun. Also, it depends on the map. We're going to say that it is what? The closest. And note also, the most important part here is to concentrate on how the comparative form is used in the sentence more than the information itself. It is so close or far to the sun. Note that we used one time the superlative form, and we used also the comparative form. This time there is no kind of comparison. We're just using the adjective here. So it is so close or far to the sun. The answer is going to be close. And after that, the sun would appear at least 3 times larger or smaller than it does to the Earth, and our answer is going to be larger. Moving on. Yes, we're done with this one. Okay. Now we have here Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars are all rocky planets, but Earth is the only one that is inhabitable, or we have here uninhabitable. Again, we have here habitatable. So we have here, what does it mean? It is it's a habitat for humans, animals, and plants. So we're going to say that yes, Earth is inhabitable. And after that, we have here Venus is only slightly or almost smaller than the Earth. Now we have number 8 is going to be slightly. Venus is so close or far to the sun that the land is hotter or colder. Now we have here the word close, and the last one is going to be hotter. Moving on. Mars is a rocky planet, and here it's obvious that it is rocky because we have here A, and icy is starts with a vowel. Planet, and it is known as the red planet because of the red color of the planet's surface. Mars is almost or considerably half the size of the Earth. We're going to say that this is almost, yes. And the 4 planets farthest away from the sun are Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune. They are very cold, and of course with cold we have here icy. So just revise and try to relate what you have here. The adjectives, do they go together or not? So if you chose cold at the beginning, of course it is going to be related with the word icy. The last part that we have, Jupiter's 4 largest moons were observed in 1610 by the Italian astronomer. And that we have here Saturn has the most spectacular ring system in all the planets. There are 7 rings made up of the dust, rocks, and ice. More than 40 spacecraft have explored Saturn, but only one has visited Uranus and Neptune. Neptune is the farthest from the sun and makes a complete orbit around the sun in about 165 Earth years. So again, just to tell you, you have this exercise is a very long exercise in the book, but you don't have a problem with it because you are going to just focus on the structure part and how or why did I choose this answer. We're going to just leave this one by and we're going to just a little bit change. Let's go back to imagining. Now, before in the exercise, I told you just to imagine that you are in a contest and you are going to answer the questions just to live a second of the excitement. Now, this time we have here ideas. Now, we are going to imagine that we are going to produce a film or a movie. You can see here, any producer, he has to have a complete plan. How is he going to produce a movie or a film? What is he going to do? It is something very important to start with, and this is what you are going to do in your project, which is going to be our lesson for today. So the last lesson in the unit is going to be the project. Our objectives are, as we did, to compare, and we did a lot of comparing using comparative degrees, to also enumerate different kinds of movie genres in preparation of a storyboard, research about different elements needed, prepare and present your project figure, apply structure, forms, vocabulary, and phrases that have been learned throughout the unit. So let's just go back to number 2, which is the storyboard. This is going to be actually what we are going to do in our project. So we have the project, just to remind you, in each unit relates to the unit's main topic. It is an activity in which you cooperate to perform a directed task, and of course cooperation is within teamwork. Yes, this is our storyboard. So when the objective, we had something called a storyboard. This is your basic project that you are going to do. In order to be producers, which we are now, we need a storyboard. So it is something well known that when you produce a movie or a film, and you know that there are a lot of kinds of movies now, and there are a lot of genres, in the book they are focusing on documentaries. So start thinking about topics that can be produced as a documentary film. They can be something about nature, they can be something about an occupation, about a place, areas, about space. You choose whatever kind of documentary you have. And you are going to start with a storyboard. So here you're going to know how or why or what to put here in the storyboard. And you are going to start gathering your ideas. So as usual, I advise you just to write your notes to remember what we have. First of all, a storyboard is necessary for any production that involves actors, actions, and script. What is a script? A script is what the actors and people are expected to say. So note that you are going to have to add these things. You are going to add something about the actors and the script. You are going to also write about or add something about the actions. In a storyboard, when certain kinds of films, such as documentaries, are being planned, designed, a storyboard is created. A storyboard includes representative scenes, notes, and comments. So anything that is included within the documentary, you have to write your notes. You have to write the scenes and also the comments. And you can see from the picture that we have here, there are a lot of pictures also, because you are describing each one. What does it have? Start preparing and think about which one, what to put in it. So we said, first of all, that we are going to add something about the actions, the actors, and the script. You can also see here that we have something about planning, about designing, and we have here creating, and we are going to represent the scenes that we have in mind. In the book, think about the most important events and times of a famous figure's life. This is just an example that you can present in a documentary and make notes in the chart. Here we have the same thing as the timeline that we did in Unit 2, Rags to Riches. We have here the dates and the important events. You can turn this into a storyboard, but note what are the most important details that you have to write within your project. Okay, now this is your project. You have a complete storyboard here. Now you can do the same like I did here. I designed the storyboard for you, which is obviously different from the one that you have in the book. It is the same idea, which means that you can also design your own, or if you wish to just draw it or write. We have here, it's the same thing, the production, which is a documentary, our movie, events in a famous figure's life, the student's name or my name. We have here the division. What is the division? We have here, first of all, the panel. We have the footage and the picture. And under it, we have here the comments and the action. Separately, each scene separately. So in each scene, you're going to have to write the comments, the action, the footage, and so on. Note that to use the storyboard framework below and write the script or commentary of the documentary in the comments. So in the comments, you're going to write the script and also the commentary. And what will be happening under or in the scene under action. Here in the action part, you are going to write exactly what happens in the scene. It is something that you can do and enjoy at the same time. And it just depends on your interests and being creative. Use a large sheet of paper or cardboard to create a realistic storyboard. Draw and or use photos or parts of photos and drawings for the scenes. Transfer your script and action notes onto the storyboard. You can write your notes by hand or word process them. Use a font that is easy to read. So if you do not wish to write, you can, word process it, but it has to be in a very clear and comfortable font. And the last thing, to present your storyboard in class. So you have the basic idea or the main idea. You know now what is a storyboard. You know that it has pictures, comments, actions. There's a kind of footage in it. Okay, after that, we have basic questions or simple questions that will help you how to start. I have the idea, but I don't know how to start. That's why I have a lot of questions here that you can also just note down and see how you can begin. Now, these are our questions. We have the first one. Where will each person stand in the picture, and what will they be looking at? So just imagine that you have here the scene. Where is this person standing? Where is this person sitting? Are they together? Are they next to each other? Are they far? What will they be wearing? Describe. Who else is going to be in the scene? Is he or she going to enter the frame scene halfway through or from the beginning? Also, we are going to describe if there are two people or just one person and another one comes in. Does he or she come from the start or from the middle of the scene? Everything has to be included within the details of the scene. Also, we have other questions. Which lines will the narrator and or the person or people involved deliver? Which is the script. What kinds of emotions are involved? What kind of props are going to be used? What will the background be? What is the setting, and what is the set going to look like? So we have here all of these things are details that you have to just describe. Now you have got the idea. Now you know that you are going to have the storyboard. You're going to just imagine the setting, the complete setting. There are people sitting, there's someone walking, this one is wearing this and that one is wearing something else. They are talking. the emotions. Are they happy? Are they nervous? Are they angry? All of these things that you can imagine in a complete scene, they are the ones that have to be written in the storyboard. And after that, these are just notes for you as an evaluation to make sure that you are on the same or in the correct line. You can first evaluate yourself, and then after that, you can evaluate another group if you want. So here, the basic points for evaluation is going to be including action. What is it, the action? Is it interesting? Is it boring? Fairly interesting? Amazing? Whatever. The script. What do you think about the script writing? What are they saying? Is it clever? Is it too obvious? Is it repeated? The people. Are they realistic? Are they interesting? Are they strong? Do they represent an idea? What do you think about them? The acting. Is it good? Not very good? Is it interesting? Etc. The direction. Whoever is directing here. Even the direction, it has to be mentioned. So the direction, is it very good, clever, creative, or original? And you can just take some ideas from movies or from series that you have just seen. The setting in general, what do you think about it? Is it minimal but realistic? Can it be improved, etc.? And the last part, if you can see the picture, there are a lot of details about the picture. We can say that the frames are good. Is it focused? Is it brilliant? Not focused enough? Unclear? Does not present actions realistically? Or the opposite? And we have here much more. So these are the things that you are going to include within the project that you have. The project, as we said, is this something that you have to put everything that you have learned within the unit. You can add the vocabulary, you can add the grammar and the form, meaning, and function part. You can add even the real talk within the scripts. You can add some details from the listening and discuss at the beginning or the reading. You have the chance to choose whatever you want and put them within the details that you want in your storyboard. Now you can be very creative, but as we said, at the end, brainstorm, and I'm sure that you have now some ideas in mind. Research if you want more. You can just watch a few documentaries to get some ideas. Discuss how to prepare a storyboard. Connect the ideas and the main points. Form a symbiotic team as usual, and you are going to distribute the roles, and each role can be done in a very creative manner. Enjoy what you are doing. Try as much as you can to join a lot of the things that you have learned within the unit, not just one side, all the sides together, and be as much as you can creative.